Life's a foolish game. Do you ever feel the same? Well, maybe we could change. Turn the ship another way. Feel it in the darkness. We're sailing right into those jagged cliffs. Life's a foolish game. Do you ever feel the same?
Good morning and welcome to the channel Quindio Colombia, and welcome to another Coffee Time Live. Same but different. Today, overcast, 73 degrees, and Colombian peso is 4,028. So now that we got that out of the way, oh look, you can actually read the chat now. So that's a definite improvement. Today is a trial run. It's going to be a little different today. I asked those that want to help this channel to hang around and bear with me as we kind of work through this. I've had several trial runs and had to make changes after each one. Echo in audio. How bad? That's good to know. Well, that's an issue that I might have to struggle with during this cast. You know, it's picking up the other microphone, I believe. I'm going to have to put a filter on it. I can't do it until later. Little echo. All right, let me check one other thing here. See if that improves at all. What do you think? Working off you guys. What do you think? Did it get better? Did it stay the same? Not too bad, but noticeable. So it's still that way. All right. Sorry for the dead air. I'm doing things here. All right. I'm almost done with what I'm doing. My apologies. Oh my God. Okay. What do we got here? This is very strange. The icon's not showing up. The audio isn't perfect, but still fine. I see what the problem here is. Oh, another problem. I'm reading chat on the screen, but I'm trying to look at my chat here on Rumble. You're all on, let's see, Yuka. Yuka is here and he hears me loud and clear. Greetings from Ontario, Canada. I don't know who that is. You guys changed your name when you came to Rumble from what you normally had. So I've got a couple people that are on Rumble. I've got 15 people on Rumble. And the rest of you, apparently you're still on YouTube because I can only read that chat here on the screen. So, all right. All right, let me go through here. Rob, good morning from Fort Lauderdale, 256 days. That's pretty awesome. Keep me informed. Feel free to post up anything you're noticing, anything with a light, anything with a video. It's much better if those that are on Rumble, especially, please let me know. This matters. Next week is our debut. We're going to do our first actual podcast, and I want to be ready for it. So SCC 99, whoever you are, greetings from Ontario, Canada. Owen, Echo and Audio. Rob, Little Echo. Edward Lee, agree. Slight echo. Owen, not too bad, but noticeable. Yuka, Finland hears you loud and clear. And Yuka, thank you for the contribution you sent like 4 hours ago. I appreciate it. Owen, no improvement, but didn't help. Quindio, a little hot on YouTube. Yeah. We were discussing, there's a couple people here, we were discussing how bad YouTube has been, how much worse they're getting. John, 1, 2, 3. Hi, all. How are you doing? Why did you guys change your name? The audio isn't perfect, but still fine. Scott Cook. How you doing, Scott? Echo and Rumble. So you're getting echo in both. I'm on Rumble and actually made it here today. Jerry, how are you doing, Jerry? I was talking about you this morning. I was talking to Turtle. He's coming on next week to talk about that little girl and about how you've been helping, and he wants to solicit others to give him a hand. So I'm going to bring him on next week. Good morning from Houston. Tried to jump on Rumble, but app crashes on my Android. Shouldn't. There's no reason it should. I've actually found it to be, it takes less resource. It used to be an issue, but it takes less resources now than YouTube. You know, there was a time when you could play things on YouTube, but everywhere else you couldn't. Then Netflix, everything streamed really well there, but in other places it would buffer or whatever. Rumble is currently the most efficient player on the market, better than Vimeo. It shouldn't be crashing. Greetings from Pittsburgh, Steven. Audio is not perfect, but okay. Audio is echoing. Getting echo on both YouTube and Rumble. It's like the sound is bouncing off the walls. All right, let me look one more time here. Okay. What it must be doing is echoing off of the other microphone. I'm going to have to install a filter. There's quite a distance. I didn't think it would be, and on my meters here, it doesn't show me that that's happening. But that's why we do this, because my equipment may not show something that you guys are actually experiencing. I cannot use my YouTube name on Rumble. Rumble is very limited on name choices. Okay. My house is going through the selling process, so I should be there in early October as planned. Awesome. It seemed like it was never going to come, right? I cannot use my YouTube. Okay, I read that one. All right. So the chat coming on the screen is working, so that's a plus. So what's going on? What are we doing today? Besides these sorts of things, this is the plan. Today we're testing the setup. I won't be talking about a whole lot about Colombia, but I've got 2 guest hosts that will be here in the future, and not necessarily at the same time. And in a few minutes, I'll bring the first one on. They'll introduce themselves. They'll talk a little bit. Then I'm going to test these commercials. And I got every bit of feedback I got was go ahead and try these commercials and let's see how it goes. I'm going to run 2 back to back, and we'll see how it is. And I'll warn you ahead of time. I'll be reading them. It may be comical. I don't know. It'll be very strange. I haven't even read through them yet. I just grabbed the 2 that have the shortest script. So we'll see how that goes. What's much worse? Wait. Now very bad echo. It's like Sunday. All right, let's see. How is that? Is that any better? I don't know what to do about it right now. I mean, I know how to fix it, but I don't know if I can do anything about it right now. Better. All right. Better. All right. Well, maybe I can stay on these buttons, and when they talk, I'll turn mine down. Now it's a little bit better again. Very strange. It is. I do understand what it is. I understand what's going on. But like I say, it needs a filter, and not anything I can do at the moment. So I appreciate if you hang in there with me. So from after today, hopefully we'll have to deal with these things. So anyway, the plan is today, I'll bring them in, they'll talk, I'll do those 2 commercials back to back. Between the 2, I don't think it's more than a minute. And then I'll bring in the other guest host, and they'll introduce themselves. And while they're doing that, I'm going to be playing with some of these settings. So feel free, you guys, this is where I've been enlisting your help. Anything that you notice changes, feel free to make a comment on it. Whether sound improved, sound got worse, or specific, echo went away, or the video, it's too bright, it's too dark, it's too, whatever you have to say. I really appreciate if you could hang in there with me. Okay, and this is my idea, and I'm open to suggestions, and I've gotten some. Oh, before I do that, let me bring up a concern I got from a whole bunch of people that surprised me. In case you hadn't noticed, there were a couple that were very similar. In case you hadn't noticed, we tune in to watch you, and we find your stories interesting, et cetera, et cetera. And then my guest host commented on that. When you say you're rambling, we actually find that interesting. Okay, so the gist of the messages, the emails I got was, don't change what you're doing because we tune in to watch you. Just so you understand, I'm not bringing guest hosts in to replace me. I'm turning it into ultimately a podcast where it will be an active part of the channel to bring people in to be like Owen, for example. Maybe he's got something to contribute. Give him 5 or 10 minutes on air. Plus, we'll also, maybe there's a particular topic. So the guest host and myself, we'll just have a conversation about it. We'll just talk about it. We might agree, we might disagree. But you'll be part of that also, and we'll be reading your chats and your comments. So that's what I want to get to. The way I envision it is the first 10 or 15 minutes, maybe I'll cover some headlines, something new, something that's going on, maybe something that I did that week, whatever. And then I'll go to a guest host. Maybe we'll cover a topic. It'll change up. It'll be different things. And then at some point, maybe after 10 or 15 minutes, we'll do somebody that calls in. So the way this is going to work, might even try it today. The way it'll work is you will send me an email. I will reply to that email while we're on air with a link. And with that link, I'll be able to bring you into this live stream. So we can give even if you don't want to come on, if you want to go through that mechanism to see, I'll see you pop up. You won't be on the air. I have to actually let you on the air, but I'll see that you're there. So that'll be a thing, and then we'll go back and we'll have more conversation, possibly about, let's say, for example, yeah, I'm all over the place here. Let's say, thinking about the sound, I'm looking at all right, let's say we had a topic about Sura Healthcare and the battle that's going on between the government and the health insurance, and what's going to happen with there. And maybe we talk back and forth about it. And then somebody has something that they want to contribute to that conversation. So I get an email from them. Maybe they put a comment, watch for my email. So I give them the link in the email, they receive it, they come on. They can be part of that conversation. They're not going to be on for that long, but 5 minutes maybe. They can contribute what they have to say. And then we'll continue with that, or maybe we'll go to a different topic, depending on where it is. I mean, if you come on and you mic drop and there's nothing more to say, then we'll go to another topic. That's how I see this going. So that, honestly, being a one-man band almost every day of the year, with the exception of 3 or 4 days, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do. And I do it because it's gratifying because of the comments that I get. And I also appreciate how much you guys have, particularly over the years, have supported this channel so I can maintain it, so I can keep it going. And one of the things that I can do is if I can get to a channel where I can begin to monetize it, even if it's only $3 or $4 at a time, then I can, maybe we can start getting away from you guys having to directly support the channel. I mean, I feel like I'm, what's the name of that welfare channel in the United States? Public, what's
NPR.
NPR. You know, sometimes I feel like NPR because it's viewers like you that support the channel. And if I can get it to start monetizing, then I can, you know, quit asking. I don't ask you all the time, but you guys know, you know, and I talk about it because it's pressing, PBS. So NPR, PBS, all the same. They're all beggars, you know, getting paid by your tax money. So, you know, that's, you know, I'm aware of that. And it's not the most comfortable thing. I feel like I'm a beggar with my hand out at the time. But on the other hand, you know, I need equipment. And this camera that we're going to be using, it's one I pulled out of the trash heap. I actually never threw it away. And I spent a couple hours repairing a camera so that we could function today, because I do have a new one coming that you guys paid for, but it's running late. And hopefully it'll be here by next week. All right, so that's the idea. That's what's going on. Let me take a quick look to see if there's anything in the chat that I need to address, and then we'll bring our first guest host on. That's much better. We'll deal with it, proceed. Video is crystal clear. And you're on YouTube. That's surprising because I think it was a last test. It was crystal clear on Rumble when I did the playback, but on YouTube it looked like crap. I think Rob mentioned how bad the lighting was or something. Support with, no, that's Stream Elements. I guess that's still running on YouTube. Good morning from Pennsylvania, Francisco. How you doing? Name looks familiar. New glasses. Me? No. Well, me? I have new glasses 2 years ago. Maybe it's the clear streaming that you're not used to. All right. So let's get to it. Let's bring them on. They'll introduce themselves, and I'm going to play with some things. So here we go. They're probably getting a massive echo now. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, I am Dan with a face for radio and a voice for print. I may not be the best candidate for this job, but when Lauren said he was having trouble getting volunteers, I said, you can count on me, because I started watching Coffee Time Live probably shortly after he moved to Armenia. I'll tell you a little bit about my background. I lived in Nicaragua for a short while before I ever visited Colombia. And once I came to Colombia, I just said, this feels like home to me. And so I've lived here ever since, basically, which began about the same time that Lauren moved here. But I had been to Medellin just on a tourist stamp several times before that. And that's when I decided that I wanted to be in Colombia. And I lived in Medellin for several years until the event, which we shall not name, occurred. And
Oh, we're on Rumble. You can talk all about it.
I will. When the lockdowns began, I just felt like moving out of Medellin might be a little better lifestyle. So that happens to be also when I met my wife. And so we moved to Ibagué, which is where most of her family lives. This past year was simply the hottest year on record, I think, in Ibagué. And it was just too much for me. So I said, I want to move someplace cooler. And we looked around and felt that Armenia was a good choice. When I asked my wife's opinion on moving to Armenia, where she has no family, she said, "You're my husband, so I will do whatever you think is best. If you can find a woman like that in North America, please let me know." The reason that I've been watching Coffee Time Live ever since Lauren started out on about a 3-foot wide balcony with nothing but a brick wall behind him was because his advice is always right on. I mean, I've lived here a good while as well. I've never seen him give anybody bad advice. So I wanted to participate. I wanted to help. And I'm hoping that this can be something better than it's ever been. The main difference, I guess, between myself and Lauren is that he's somewhat of a loner most of the time. I'm surprised that he's been so social on this channel, frankly, but he likes a lot of alone time. And I like female companionship much, much more. So I dated probably 24 women before I met my forever girl, which, as I said, was at the beginning of the pandemic. And so we moved to Ibagué. We've been together for a little over 4 years now. We have a daughter. This has been the best time of my life. So I'm happy to be here, happy to help in any way I can, and hope I can answer some questions and help people gain a perspective. So, Lauren, is there anything else you'd like for me to cover?
All right, let's see. I have something here. Let's switch back and forth. Are they hearing any sound from me? That is a question. Yeah, I'm still playing with things. I'm still playing with settings. I'm afraid the echo may have returned. All right, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to read our commercial, or commercials maybe, and then we'll bring in the second guest host. So thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. He will be on. They will alternate because people are busy. So the next guest host will be here sometimes. Dan will be here sometimes. And let's see. All right. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
All right. Sorry it's so herky-jerky, guys. Yes, we hear you, and there is an echo. Sound is good. Audio is good from you both, except for the echo. Correct. All right. Let me get to the commercial. I'm going to read my first commercial here. Where did it go? It went off the screen. Hold on. What the heck? Yeah, there's always bumps in the road. All right, one of them, I'm 2 people shy of being able to read. And the other one, it was a pet thing. It was about about a dog, and I know that I'm eligible for that. Here we go. I found one. You guys ready? All right. An overlay. Accept and start. If you have a dog, we've all been there. Our pup goes from full energy to sick and miserable in an instant, and at the worst of times. Then we're calling vets in the middle of the night or on weekends, trying to find a clinic that will take us in. It's a terrible way to manage your dog's health, not to mention your stress levels and your monthly budget. Or you could be like the governor of whatever that state is that just takes the dog out. Okay, that's why you should have a pet emergency kit by Positive. Positive. It contains critical medications and supply that can not only keep you out of the veterinary office, but may even save your dog's life. Their kits contain critical medications like activated charcoal, styptic powder, and more. It may save your dog's life. Head over to positive.com and use code STUDIO to get 15% off your pet emergency kit. Woo! That was a mouthful. I don't know what I think about this. Yeah, and I got to keep the comments out of there. They probably won't like that. But you know, there was that governor of South Dakota that did some book and took her dog and, you know, took care of its illness, we'll say. All right. So there's one. What do you guys think? Give me some feedback on that. Sound for both, slight echo with Lauren, guest host, sound okay. Oh, interesting. That's some good information. Echo for me. All right. Audio is good for me both. All right. So I got that out of the way. I was going to read another one. If we get up to 50, I'll read another one. We'll see how it goes. The other one is about Rumble. Just telling people to download the app. All right. And I see people tuning out, so I get it. You know, it's not fun. This is really all about tuning up, and that's why I said in the beginning, you guys that are always there, you know, hang in there with me. It certainly is not very entertaining today. But we have a special guest host who may very well be entertaining. And let's go. You can introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Lauren, for the invitation today. My name is Paola Arce. I was born in Cali, Colombia, but now I live here in Quindio. I moved to Quindio last year. I was living in a small town called La Tebaida, which is really hot. And I moved to Circasia recently. Circasia is much colder and is really nice. I'm very happy living here. As you notice, my English is different. It is because in the past I was in England, so my English sounds different. Okay, about me, I'm a teacher. Yes, I'm an English teacher, and also I teach Spanish for foreigners sometimes. And I do interpretation and translation. That's what I do. The reason why I volunteer here is because also, same as Dan, I listen to this YouTube transmission, like live program, and I like the fact that we have some people from different countries talking about our own country, giving some advice to people that come here, some advice about how the cultural experience is. And I think that's basically what we need sometimes. We need to talk about our country, but from a different point of view. From the experience of other people living here. And well, I like the project. And yeah, I'm going to be here like a local, a kind of local, because I'm also new here in Quindio. But well, yeah, I'm here. That's why I'm here, basically. I don't know if you have questions. Just let me know, and well, we can talk about it. Thank you very much, Lauren, again.
All right, let's come back on. See, I have to switch this back and forth. maybe I can stay here. No, it doesn't work with the chat. Yeah, it doesn't work either way. All right, let me read a couple of these comments here. Sound good for both. Slight echo. Keep those comment echo gone on YouTube. The wife issue is dealt with. Filipina P. If you're interested how women have changed, a YouTube video. Juka, I've watched her from time to time. She's kind of interesting. I lived in the Philippines for a little bit of time. It was a choice that I could have made, but because I'd been there before, I knew it wasn't something that I would want to stay there for. But I see things every once in a while. That's one of them. I watched a podcast recently, and they did similar ads, but their ads were pre-recorded. It helped it go smoother for them. Yeah, I don't even know if I'm going to do it. Some people do that. Some people don't. I think most people do, and that's a potential thing that I could do. I'm just testing it today to see if it's even something that you guys can live with. Or I don't want to go through I have enough to do to record them and set it up. It's not as simple as it may seem, but going forward, may very well do it. Hugo, I love this guest format. Awesome. So what I want you guys to do, and I'll get back to you in a moment, Paula. I want somebody to email to me so I can send back an email a link so I can bring you on, even if it's just for a test. So if any of you guys there, like Rob, if you've got a camera going, a microphone, for example, or Jerry, Michael, feel free. I won't keep you long. You won't have to feel awkward like I'm making my guest hosts here. I'm sure I'm making them feel awkward, but that's what today's about. It's all about making them feel awkward and making myself feel better. So, all right. Paula,
Yes.
you've lived in Armenia for a year, you said.
Yeah, a year and 6 months.
But you grew up in Cali.
Yeah, I was born and grew up in Cali. Exactly.
Okay. So you're a salsa dancer.
I have to. Yeah, it's not mandatory, but it's kind of a social pressure if you are from Cali that you dance salsa. It's like if you want to have friends, if you want to go out, if you're young and you want to have a couple. So it's basically like, oh, but you have to dance. How are you going to meet your partner for life if you don't dance? Well, I know my husband doesn't dance, but anyway, there is also the social pressure. So yeah, so it's like 70% or more of people from Cali dance salsa.
I tell people all the time, I lived here before 20 some years ago, and I think I told you that. And in those days, salsa was everywhere. Everywhere in Colombia, they were fanatical about it. People would go out any night of the week and go to a club with a group of friends, and they would just dance salsa. They'd take turns dancing with different partners. They would be practicing new moves, new steps. It was crazy. So it was a bottle of aguardiente on the table and 8 or 9 people together in a group, and they're all dancing salsa for a couple hours until they're just exhausted or they drank too much. Did you ever experience that?
Well, salsa is a huge thing here in Colombia. In some regions more than in other regions, to be honest. If you go to Bogota, at least some years ago, it was not about salsa. Bogota is more crossover things. Now it's reggaeton, like giving the huge thing in Bogota. It's reggaeton, maybe electronic music. But if you go to Cali, which is a region where salsa was a huge thing in the 70s, people learned and grew up listening to salsa. That happened to me. That happened to my generation. A new generation's music is changing. But anyway, as it is an identity identity thing. I mean, if you're from Cali, oh, you are related to salsa. So many people dance salsa since very young ages, and we have a lot of schools of dancing salsa. So yes, the social dancing in Colombia, social dancing, it changes. But the thing that you go with friends out, and it's like, oh, we're with friends out, we listen to music, and maybe is tropical music, which could be salsa, could be merengue, could be cumbia, yeah, any kind of tropical dancing, bachata, yes. And you start dancing just because you listen to it. Even if you're not like in the place to dance, you can be in a restaurant, but if you listen that there is a music that is like happy, you can start dancing. Your body starts moving, even if it's a restaurant, even if you're just drinking something in a cafe or by the gas station, you can just dance. It's part of our culture.
I don't think I was here more than a week or two those years ago. And it wasn't exactly a restaurant, but there was food and drink, and it was mostly outside. I don't recall but it was in Pareda. I heard this song come on. Suavemente, bésame, like that, right?
That's merengue, yeah.
Everybody went crazy. Everybody jumped up. Everybody started kind of back and forth. It wasn't salsa, it was merengue. I later learned. But it was people who didn't know each other. It didn't matter. Everybody got up and had danced to the music. And there was a video clip I played a couple of weeks ago about this woman who was walking by a De Uno, that's a supermarket. And she was walking in front and got caught on one of the cameras. A song came on. It was an older song. It was salsa. And right there in front of the store, she just started dancing. And she tried to get people walking by to dance with her, but they wouldn't because Colombia has changed so much. Back in the day, everybody would have started dancing. In her case, and she was probably 40s or 50s, maybe 50s. She started dancing, and it didn't matter that nobody else would dance. She had a big smile on her face. It was gratifying to see. That's why I played it, because that clip, I had this weird situation where I had direct memories from what it was like before to direct memories of what it's like now. And so every day I see that contrast. And it's striking. And one of the things is the death of salsa. I hate reggaeton. One more thing I want to say about it. What was gratifying to me, here, I'm doing something here. I'm sorry. Got an email, so I'm replying to it. What was interesting is that back in the 70s in the United States, disco came along, and you had this civil war about disco sucks, rock and roll forever. I'm sure you remember that. Everybody talked about it. It was disco is horrible, and rock and roll is everything. Well, now rock and roll is everything, but so is disco. Here, I'm seeing on social media where Colombians, reggaeton is horrible. Reggaeton is the death of civilization. It's terrible. So, I'm seeing that same musical civil war take place here. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, it's true. Yes. You listen to people criticizing reggaeton, but if you go to a party with that person who criticized reggaeton, maybe they play a song that is reggaeton, but anyway, it's like kind of sticky and people start moving. Maybe this person is going to dance as well. So it's crazy. It's crazy. We don't know. There are some people that they do criticize and they say, no, I hate it and I won't dance it at all. But some other people, they just go with the flow, That is more Colombian, going with the flow.
Yeah, that topic that you brought up this morning is something I really want to talk about. But we shouldn't shortchange it now. Somebody's going to come on, so I'm going to allow him. Let's see how this works. So I'm allowing. There he is, and let me put up auto. We should get him on screen here. I think I jumped the gun. He hasn't enabled his camera and he hasn't enabled his microphone yet. So let's see. You hearing me, Jerry? You have to enable at the bottom middle. You'll see a little camera with a line through it. So you click on that, and then the microphone next to it, you'll click on that. And then we can hear and see you. And Turtle sent me a request too, so I sent it to him. So first one that gets on and is working, we're going to run with. So the topic that I want to talk about is in the United States, men don't mature until they're 30 or 40 years old. Women mature at 16, 17, 18. In Colombia, it seems like it's the exact opposite. Most women, and we were comparing notes, most women that we run into are absolutely immature until they're abuelas. But the men seem to mature much earlier, and which is they seem more responsible. Maybe they have to be at work on time, and they're more focused on things like that. Now, I did tell him that the longer you live here and the more people you meet, the more you see that changes. But well, somebody's coming on without a camera. I think that's Jerry struggling. You have no camera on. You got to click that camera. That's why we're working through this stuff. See, this could be terrible if you're a viewer. On the other hand, it could be pretty funny. You know, you're kind of watching the clown show here. I assume you're talking about emotional maturity. Is that what I'm talking about? Maybe. We just responsibility, being on time, considering others. It just seems like there's this immaturity with a lot of younger women that in the United States, they would be much more serious and focused. I don't remember it being like that in the past. I blame TikTok. All right, he's coming and going. It's not working for him. All right, Turtle, if you got the link, you can try. We'll give that a shot. Yeah, I can actually put how many? I can put up to 9 people, including myself, on here at the same time. Imagine what kind of chaos that would be. Blame TikTok, agreed. Absolutely. You know, I don't want to take the whole conversation, but these things are coming to mind. Again, the comparison, when I was here before a woman would step out the door, she spent 2 or 3 hours on her hair and makeup and her clothes. And everybody wore high-heeled shoes. And is that ringing any kind of bells, Paula?
Well, it depends. It again depends. Well, my my circle is different because I'm a teacher.
No, 20 years ago.
20 years ago. Okay, I was 20. Okay, so 20 years ago. No, it depends because 20 years ago I was a student of a public university. So here, being a public university student is different. From another context. If a person went to a private university, at least in Cali, they use those kind of tendencies. So they do take a lot of time using makeup and dressing up and going out, and the nails have to be perfect. Colors combination have to be perfect like that. Mm-hmm. But if you are a student of a public university like I was, we were from popular neighborhoods. We were people who had to struggle in life to go to the university. We came from public schools as well. So we didn't have much money So we couldn't invest in ourselves, and we couldn't invest much time being prepared to go out and to go to a party because we didn't have the way. We have to study. We have to really, really study hard if we want to have like a job in the future. So that's why in my circle, my friends and people who surround me were different. Obviously, when I finished university, I started working when I was 17 years old, very young. Because of that, because I was a student and I needed to help my parents somehow. So I was a teacher at a school when I was 17. And obviously my friends were also teachers like me, and my friends were also responsible like me. And I met different people when I started working in a different place. When I was 20 or 19, I don't remember, I think it was 19, I started working for private English institutes, teaching English. And obviously my students were those kind of people that you described, those beautiful ladies that were wearing high heels and taking time to go out.
Now, I got to come to the defense of my poor. I was living in Dos Quebradas. And if you know Dos Quebradas 20 years ago, it was very poor. And I was staying in, they moved me out of my Hyatt hotel paid for by the Colombian government because they insisted that I stay with family. So I'm living in this row house, I guess you would call it, small 2-story block houses connected to each other, sidewalk, and then across the sidewalk, more of these small block houses, a very, very poor barrio. Today it would be a stratus 2. And everybody was like that. It's not that they had the nicest clothes, it's just that they would not step out that door unless they looked the best that they could look. Today, people roll out of bed, maybe comb their hair, throw on some blue jeans, and they go out on the street. And you never saw that in the past. At least I never saw that in Dos Quebradas or Pereira. I saw people, spending a lot of time, but at that time it was out of self-respect. Today, I see a lot of attention, particularly younger girls, paid to themselves, but it's out of a sort of narcissism. It seems like social media is breeding this narcissism that I saw in the United States also gaining ground. And I'm seeing it here. Of course, why wouldn't it? It's the same TikTok. But you think I'm crazy, don't you?
No, it's not craziness. It's just like a different perception. Because obviously in Dos Quebradas is not a big city. I was from a big city that is Cali. Cali is big. It's a big city. Still not too developed, and actually it's really disorganized, about that. But but the experience is different. But if you talk about Dos Quebradas, it brings me back to Buga, for example, which is a town in Valle del Cauca. And if I think about Buga 20 years ago, it was exactly as you described. My cousins, which are from Buga, never went out the house if they were not perfectly dressed out and everything. So yes, I think it all depends. If it's a town that you don't have much to do and you follow tendencies and you follow what television shows you, obviously you're going to be like that. But in a big city, you're going to have too many things that are diverse. And diversity also gives you like a different sensation of what happens in a town, which Dos Quebradas is not a town, but still is not that big as Pereira, it's not that big as Cali, it's not that big as Medellin.
Well, it is now.
It is now, yes. It is.
Back then, there was only like 4 or 5 streets.
Yeah.
It was, I lived on the other side of the river in the poorest part of that area. It was interesting. Okay. Jerry, I see you made it. You have a microphone. But it's not on? Or is it on? We aren't hearing you. You viewers, are you hearing him? So,
Can you hear me now?
While you're figuring that out, we've got here
Can you hear me now?
Do you think it's better to raise kids in Colombia instead of the USA? And the other audio echo comes and goes, seems random. Yes, very random echo. Interesting. Your sound working yet?
It's supposed to be.
Nope, not hearing you. So what do you think? Do you think it's better to raise kids in Colombia instead of the USA?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Well, I cannot tell because I've never been to the United States. I have some friends that are from the United
Well,
States.
think England.
England, okay.
It's like the USA, only even more messed up.
Nowadays, it's not the
Can
same
you hear
as
me
it
now?
was. And nowadays, England is facing a difficult situation. After the Brexit, everything changes. So I cannot say that England is the best place to raise kids. And now
Can
in
you hear me
Colombia,
now?
I think that Colombia could be, but depends on the place. I would never raise kids in Cali, for example. I moved to Quindio because of that. I have a child that is 6 years old, and I noticed that Cali was very dangerous. It was stressful. We had lots of situations that are not for a kid to grow up. So we moved to a town in Quindio, and I think it's much better than Cali, for example. So in Colombia, it all depends on the place you are. And in England, right now, I don't think it is the best place to do it. Now, in the United States, you can't say.
I have to agree with you. I think in the US, it would suck right now. And if you're in Quindio, it's awesome. If you're in Cali and Popayan, if you're in Medellin, Cartagena, maybe not so much. Regardless of where, it's better to raise kids to be bilingual or bilingual. Maybe. All right. So I get to confess some stupidity here. I'm saying I can't hear Jerry. I can't hear Jerry. Well, I wonder why. I got no speaker. I got no earphones on. I can't hear Jerry because I'm not set up to hear him. But it was you in the camera, though. It was you in the camera.
It's me on the camera. It's
So
my
sorry,
mess.
Jerry. I'll when we do this next week, it's a good thing. I mean, it's obvious, but it took me a minute to figure it out. I will have earphones ready when somebody comes on. So you've accomplished what I needed. That's awesome. Thank you very much for the help. And let's bring you on in a couple of weeks if you're up to it. Give me a thumbs up or down. Okay. All right.
I apologize to those who can see. Normally,
Thank you
my
again,
room
Jerry.
isn't bad like this.
Jerry looks
but
like he came
I'm
well prepared to rumble. Jerry, your audio is good. I can hear Jerry. See Jerry. Good morning from Agua Chica. Hey, how you doing? Why are you still on YouTube, Mr. Mark? We hear you on Rumble, Jerry. I hear you, Jerry. Can hear Jerry now. I feel when it dawned on me, I'm seeing all these comments. Obviously, I'm not going to hear him. How am I going to? He's not in this room. All right. Did you have something you wanted to say, Dan? Where are we for time?
I think Paula just wanted out of the spotlight.
Oh, you'd had enough. Well, it was almost over. All right. So this is it's going to be a different format, but this is somewhat how it's going to work. And I was able to address several things. It appears that, okay, I've got to fix the mic echoing. Granted, throws me a little that echoes sometimes. I don't get that, but I'll get that taken care of. I'll have some earphones set up. You're going to have it over there too, so that we can hear what's going on.
I can suggest a test if people want to help us, because I think you speak pretty loudly, and we had to turn the gain up on this microphone. So I think the echo is from both microphones picking up your voice. The way we could test that is for me to just lean in and speak quietly to this microphone.
Oh, so you're blaming me.
Well, and maybe you could do the same on your side, and then we could analyze what the result is.
Yeah, but then nobody can hear it, which, see, that issue would require a filter.
Right.
So
I think that'll fix it.
Sorry for the mess. I'm in moving mode. The Rumble thing somehow doesn't work on PC. Yeah, I was running it here, so I don't get that.
Rumble works fine on my PC, and
I just turned it off, but I had it running at the same time. It was distracting though because there's a lag in time. It was just kind of distracting, so I turned it off. But I had it running. Works good. Yes, the gain was a bit low. No. Right now, I have them both set equally. They're both identical settings. So, Jerry, how did you connect? He clicked on the link. Jerry's issue was basically his issue was getting his camera to work. From this standpoint, your audio quite loud, Lauren. You can talk smoothly, or you could talk louder. See, I followed his email and everything showed it was working, but Lauren said it wasn't working on his end. Eventually, I had to unplug the camera and plug it in and started working. Lauren's volume is a bit louder and clearer. Okay, I do talk louder, but I'm not yelling. I mean, I'm just talking. So that just means, yeah, and I think the reason is for years, I didn't want to have a microphone in my face. So I talk louder to compensate for the added distance to the microphone. Most people like it up in their face, but the sound has always been good. So if I step it up a little. Great inaugural beginning. Glad to be part of your new adventure. Great memories. Love the format and guests. Keep up the good work. Cliff, when are you coming back? Yeah, it's one of the people that left here for a while. He's supposed to be returning, and I miss him. He's a hell of a nice guy. I think I even mentioned him this morning on something.
You did. Where's Mike Jarvis today? I don't see him online.
Mike had a comment earlier. I think he said he was late coming in or something like that. But I was mid trying to do things. All right. So we run an hour. I've got some good information. Hopefully, I can get it taken care of for next week. And hopefully, the new camera will come in because that'll certainly help on your side. It's a pretty decent picture you have, but it's not as clear as it should be. And the new camera will take care of that. To everybody that helped today, I greatly appreciate it. Yuka, as always, not only you're here every time, but you contribute to the channel. I certainly appreciate that. I will let you know, we're one shy. I really wanted to read that Rumble ad, but I've only got 49 people online. Oh, there's 50. All right, let me see if I can do this. All right, bear with me. Don't anybody leave, please. All right. Make sure to download the Rumble app. Once you download it, search for my channel, Grand Colombia. Follow the channel directly on the app. This will make sure that you get a notification every time we go live. Click the link in the description or pinned live chat to download the Rumble app on your phone. It's free. If you prefer to watch us on the big screen, it's also available for Apple TV, Android TV, Fire TV, Roku, LG, Samsung TVs. All you need to do is search for Rumble. 38 seconds. Cool. All right. So it'll be interesting to see how those things actually turn out once I get to look at the other side of what I can see, to see if it even will make sense the reading from now on. All right. So thank you, Dan. Thank you, Paula. I'm going to drop you off. Boom. There we go. Application error.
You dropped yourself.
I did. I did. So
Guess I'll take over now.
you're still on there?
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Does anybody have any questions?
See if I can bring myself back here. Hey, I'm back. That was weird. My screen went to a big error message. And boom, there we go.
There we are.
That threw me because now I had something all planned that I was going to say, and now I don't know what the hell I was going to say. I think I was thanking everybody. I think I went through that. I appreciate all the feedback. Feel free to email me. Let me throw it up on the screen if you don't know it. There's the email. And I hear him whispering over there. Something about Spanish lessons? I don't know. I missed the. Why are you clicking on and off? That's weird. Are you doing anything over there?
No.
You flashed on the screen. Huh. Fascinating. Missed the beginning. Where is this gentleman located? I live in Armenia, Colombia. And it's a small picture, but there's a little picture. I can't make it bigger at the moment. That's that little girl that's living on Pediasure that Turtle's going to come on next week, and he's going to tell you all about it. And you keep flashing on there. I don't know how to make that stop. Turn your camera on. No. With a button on the bottom of the screen.
Gotcha.
Just click that, click the microphone. There you go. We'll see if it flashes to a black screen. What's the topic today? Not you, Lauren. I meant Paula. Yeah, you missed your introduction. She's from Cali, but she lives here now. She lives in Circassia, which is like 3 minutes north of me.
So did that stop the echo?
Stop the echo? I don't know. You guys hearing any echo? What do you think? What's topic today? Today's topic was the software mostly, but we tried to squeeze in some things that I personally found interesting, so I managed to get them in. All right. I think the last thing I did was put my email up so people could send me comments. I wonder if that's what crashed me. How could that crash me? But I'm new to this. So there's my email.
No echo, so it's my mic that's picking up your voice.
That makes sense. I've never had echo issues here before.
Yep.
All right. Well, I know where to put the filter. All right. So, where was I? Send me an email. Any kind of comments you have, anything at all to help me prepare for next week, because next week is our big debut. It's important for me to roll it out to actually function without going through all this stuff. I know some of you guys find it entertainment. You enjoy seeing me squirm. You enjoy seeing me make stupid mistakes like I can't hear them because I don't have headphones. But I'd really rather have actual topics next week and focus on those. But I think you get a bit of a gist of it. There'll be some back and forth comparisons. There was something we didn't agree on. Don't remember what it was, but some things we will agree on. And I think you guys will ultimately be the winner of that. And having said that, we're going to end it for today. Oh, to my Canadian, England, and Finland friends, that top number is the current temperature in that foreign temperature measuring number centigrade. And there's quite a bit of setup changing to Rumble. Yeah, there is. I could not use chat without verifying my phone number. Then, of course, the mic and camera setup. Rumble appears to be a great platform. We shall see. I'm hoping. I'm hoping that it is. If you need to do another midweek trial run, I'd be happy to be another guinea pig. I may very well do that, put it on private. If so, send me an email. Anything like that, anything you want to volunteer for, send me an email, because this week is a big push for me. This week, I pick up my actual license, the physical license, and I have to report it to Dion for the taxing. For the tour business, trying to get the coffee business off the ground. It was supposed to be for next Sunday. I keep running into obstacles. There may be some delays on that. I mean, we're all set. We're legal. We've got source. We've got all of that. But we keep getting different information from the agencies that should know about exporting. All right. Enough of that. We're going to end it here. Thank you all. Appreciate it. See you next week.
Bye.